And we're back with John Barrowman.
No one on stream actually knows what. Yeah.
I actually said that because I had been screen capping Roll20, and I didn't realize that John Barrowman's face was perfectly framed in the middle of the screen.
Perfect.
So who is John Barrowman in this game?
John Barrowman is somewhat similar to the character he plays in Arrow, especially in the first season. Here, my character's name is Robert Steele. Silicon Valley, like, super successful startup CEO type of person. He's Elon Musk-esque. The company that he runs is, of course, called Steel Corp, named after himself. His most as is tradition, basically. He is, it's within engineering. It's kind of vague as to exactly what it is, I believe. Let me go double check that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it is sort of a green technology, type of like, futuristic corporation that's inventing and then, selling and establishing new technology in the world. His estate is, sadism, which means that, as is always the case with Nobilis, he was not, given the choice when, risen up to become a noble. So he is unhappy with that. But he is sadism is his estate, so he knows how to hurt people a lot, but he also owns a company and wants to, he feels like being a noble is not what he wants, and he wants to break free of that in some way or another. He has a family. I think he has, like, a wife and a son or something. A wife and, like, a preteen son. And he, of course, now is not at all like him whatsoever. So he wants to basically be with them again, in whatever that means. Ideally, his first thing is no longer being a noble, but he's also open to various things like ascending them to noblehood or whatever. But I think as a person, his estate is very much changing him because it is addictive.
Yeah. And we'll get to see some of that change pretty soon.
Yeah. He is, as we were doing character creation, I realized he is way more like Batman than I originally intended. Only Batman does it by choice. Batman, he's like, and in some ways the opposite of Batman. This guy is naturally good at a lot of stuff. And Batman is intentionally good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We'll see our own Batman. So Zen, do you want to go next?
Kind of.
No, go.
Right.
I need a minute.
You can be last.
So,
Matt.
Sure. Yeah. So, I am playing Bishop Phineas Barrow, a Catholic priest who suddenly finds himself to be the spirit of dinosaurs. Phineas Barrow is like late 30s, early 40s. I envision him as being a little bit older. Has a beard, and is just a warm-hearted do-gooder kind of type, who is suddenly transported into this world of courtly intrigue, and finds himself permanently bound to an actual devil, and has his entire cosmology of the universe just basically destroyed. He is a high persona noble, so he's not very good at like summoning dinosaurs, but he's pretty good at making things behave like dinosaurs that are not dinosaurs. His skills are he's a counselor. He's skilled in theology, which makes sense. And his passions are, and these are really kind of what a couple of the things that drive him. He wants to know God. Now that he, is ennobled, he sees this path to actually meeting Snef, the creator, and he wants to be worthy of God's love. Whether or not God actually loves anybody, I think is up for debate, but that's a passion that he has. And then his bonds are a care for the poor and downtrodden. He's very much a man of faith and goodness, and believes in charity, and so on. He has duties to the church, so even after his ennoblement, he's going to continue to feel connections to his flock, to a church that a cathedral that he is the bishop of, in the Catholic hierarchy. He misses his parents who died, and he has got some afflictions and stuff like that. In terms of dinosaurs, the way I've defined them are dinosaurs are hungry and primitive. Dinosaurs are extinct on Earth. And Golden, I know we talked about this a little bit. I may play with that a little bit, but that's how I'm leaving it for now. Dinosaurs are hidden underground, meaning like their bones are hidden underground. And dinosaurs evolved into birds.
Cool. Yeah, hidden underground.
That just leaves the nebulous being known as Trek. I guess the best way to describe what Trek was, just so you can wrap your mind around it, he was sort of a muse. Like, he inspired people to wander. He's the essence of wandering, of seeing what's on the other side of the horizon and taking joy in getting there. He's, I say he, it is what I view as an essential driving force in at least how humans have evolved in civilization, moving from one place to the next, taking knowledge with them and spreading it. That's basically the essence of what he is. He just enjoys the journey.
Don't say he is the journey.
He could be the journey. He is, as I said, he is a bit nebulous in and of himself. Very easily distracted, I think, and never really has a clear destination in mind. He just keeps heading forward.
What do you look like, Zen? What does Trek look like?
If he was able to be perceived, I think he would want to appear to people as whatever is at the end of their journey to entice them to keep moving forward. Mm-hmm. So he probably appears differently to different people.
Cool.
Can you perceive, like, we can't perceive, but can you perceive us? Like, do you have, like, how does your spiritless body work? Is my question.
Yeah, let's get into the physics of metaphysics here. Yeah, I think he perceives the physical just like anybody else does, but I think he also has the ability to sort of know. when he sees a person, he can probably see the road before them as well. Mm-hmm. And that informs his perception of the person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, while yes, I can see the physical form of both of the other PCs, I think if we were looking through his eyes, we would also see, glimmers of aspects of the roads that they need to walk, basically.
Is it the roads they need to walk and the roads they have walked, or?
Well, the thing about Wanderlust is, or the thing about Trek is that he never looks back. It's always moving forward. So what you have experienced is he doesn't really care. It's not a factor for him.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Cool.
I just realized I have to read one of these now.
Yes.
Make sure not to read the parts that are illegal.
I really have to catch up on my. I need to do my character research.
Yeah. So another thing, we talked about this. Zentropia's character embodies a concept that no longer exists. So, we can imagine traveling by air, or by land, or by sea. You can imagine walking, running, riding a bicycle. Those are things we can imagine. When, at the very start of the game, Zen's going to be embodying something that we can't imagine because it no longer exists. And it will very shortly stop existing.
Yeah. Yeah, he is the psychic manifestation of a form of travel that is about to be nullified, I guess.
Yeah. There was some other thing with wheels or something like that. Or something something beyond our comprehension.
So yeah. with your mind's eye, imagine something that you can't possibly imagine, and just go with it. Just go with it.
Well, it doesn't. It's something that no longer exists. Is it also necessarily something we can't actually imagine?
Well, the thing is,
could it be traveling by catapult?
Because of the transformation, it's something that would have been forgotten and erased from existence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and all history retroactively changes in order for this thing to have never happened. Right? Yeah,
travel by catapult isn't maybe that was it.
I have a question. If you were the spirit of a domain, so to speak, that no longer exists, is the destruction of that domain the act that causes our imperator to rip a chancel from the earth?
To intervene, basically.
Right. I mean, Golden, this is your territory, so we don't necessarily have to define this now. I'm happy to leave it ambiguous.
I know why our imperator created the chancel, and I will reveal that shortly.
Okay.
Okay.
The question on a more metaphysical level is possible, but I'm having a hard time imagining how an immobile being can travel in any way. So.
True. That also makes so much sense that Wanderlust would be part of an immobile being because they've never had the opportunity to travel.
Yeah,
at least for a long time.
It's a vicarious thing. They need me to experience that.
Right. So a thing that the destroyed domain could be the domain of traveling in the astral plane, right?
That'd be really bad.
Having out of body experiences could be a thing that in the past did exist, but then was ripped out of reality by the Excrucians.
Yep.
And so our imperator, who is immobile, previously had a mode of travel, but now does not. Anyway, it sounds like Golden, you already have an idea for this, so
Yep.
I'm not. I'm more spitballing than dictating.
It's still a cool idea. If I had talked about it last 2 weeks ago, maybe I would have it developed more. That's kind of the problem with Nobilis, right? Like, we took dinosaurs, wanderlust, and sadism, and we suddenly decided that it makes perfect sense. It's one of the joys of this game.
I love it. That's a feature, not a bug.
I can't even imagine how it would be different, but I know for a fact that it would be different. And that's what really is unique about this game. All right.
Yeah.
So let's get started. My voice level just keeps changing because something on my computer thinks it can auto-adjust my microphone volume, even though I've told it not to, like 50 times. So it's just going to happen. Sorry, guys. But here's what happens. Oh, good. You all have your names on your character sheet now. All right.
Yes.
We can change them in the display name too. Probably be a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be great. At least for the start.
Can we do that? How do we do that?
If you go on to gear.
Go to the gear.
Oh, display name. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then put your name in parentheses next to your real name.
Right.
Fantastic. All right. So, Robert, you're driving down the highway in your car. And I was going to say you're low on gas, but your car can't be low on gas, can it?
I'm low on power.
Yeah, there's no charging stations out here.
Yeah.
Maybe you just really have to use the bathroom?
Okay. Yeah. That's the
Where
thing.
do you stop?
CEO's gotta pee. I probably drive for a while, like, looking for, like, a gas station or somewhere to stop, but there just isn't one. And so I probably would, stop and just walk off of the road into, like, the nearest bush or something. I probably would walk a couple bushes off of the road, actually, because my character is somewhat famous, and so he wouldn't want to be... If there was a single car driving by, not that he sees any, he wouldn't want them to take a picture. He has a fear of paparazzi, it seems.
Okay.
So
I love that that's an actual thing that Robert has to worry about.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wait, nope. Just a few bushes in. Okay, good.
And we were in, like, Maine or Minnesota. I mean, not Minnesota, or Massachusetts or something. We're in, like, the New England forest. So there's probably not any bears here. So you feel pretty comfortable.
I could do that.
Do you have an intention of remaining hidden?
Of remaining hidden? No, I think that I have an important business meeting to get to, as I always do. And so I am,
Well, I mean, while you're doing your business in the bushes.
Yeah, I think I'm remaining hidden then.
Okay. So somebody is going to walk by, and we're going to find out if they notice you or not. So I'm looking at your mortal skills, because you're not a Nobilis yet. And looking for something you could argue would help you remain hidden.
The staying hidden?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably, I don't think anything right now.
Okay. So you're going to maintain this at 0. You can also spend willpower to raise this.
How much willpower do I have to start with? I don't see a tracker for that.
Hold on a sec. Let me look this up, because it's been a while.
I think you start with 10 will points, but there isn't anywhere on the sheet to track it.
Right.
Yeah, I'll keep it in my actual character sheet under attributes and abilities on the handout.
Let me just find this really quick here. Intention. Oh, we didn't give you cool and shine.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Right.
Do you just want to figure that out later?
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Why don't you all take
Okay.
cool and shine of 2 right now? Cool is not relevant here, and neither is shine. Okay.
Where do we put that under passion, skills, and abilities?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 8 points of willpower, not 10.
Okay.
The basic chart of remaining hidden, you are trying to accomplish a task and have a tangible impact on the world.
Yes.
So it needs to be at least a difficulty of 2.
To be able to remain hidden?
Yes, you have to spend willpower if you want to actually even remotely be hidden.
Okay. I will have 8 willpower. And these refresh at the beginning of each session?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend 2 to remain hidden.
Okay, let me just check that. Recovering will. When you stop, you recover 1 automatically. You get at least 4 hours of sleep. You end up with a Chryson or the game session ends. So if you next day in game or something crazy happens, like you become a Nobilis, you get all your willpower back. Okay. So yeah, so you are pissing in the woods when you hear somebody walking on the road. Like you can hear the gravel under their feet. And they're walking at a pretty steady pace. It seems like they haven't even trod. Like they're an experienced traveler.
Yeah.
You probably actually noticed this person before when you were driving down the road.
Yeah, I probably drove past them.
But you're like, it's kind of weird because they were probably like a few minutes behind you, and there's no way they should be here by now. What do you want to do? Do you want to just wait for him to go by?
I think I would peer at them from behind like a bush or something. If I can't do that while remaining hidden, then
sure.
I would just stay and wait for them to go by.
You can actually maintain 2 intentions at once. So you may remain hidden and also spy on this person. Do you have any skill that would apply to spying on somebody? It doesn't look like it.
I do not.
So you got to spend another 2 willpower.
Nah, I think I'm good this time.
Okay, do you want to try it at 0?
Sure. What does that mean?
You attempt to do things, but only make things worse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try it.
All right. So I think you do, but like your pants are a little bit wet now, and you hear the person stop walking for a second before they continue moving on. You do get a look at them. They seem to be dressed in like dress pants and a white shirt. They seem to be a middle-aged man, late 20s. He's got a knapsack on a stick over his shoulder. So he's like hitchhiking across country in like really inappropriate clothing.
Okay. I think I think to myself for a moment, and then, after I'm done and cleaned up, I go back to my car, and if I think he's still within, audible range,
Yeah.
I, loudly say to him, sir, would you like a ride to wherever you're going?
Yeah, the guy stops and turns around and looks surprised. And then he says, yes, I'd love to get a ride to the next town.
Alright, just the next town? That's where we're headed?
Oh, yeah. Gotta spread the word.
Okay, and I think he pretends to not have heard that part. Is the kind of character he is. And yeah, Robert Steele will get in his car and open up the other door, and if he's far away, drive up to him. If not, I'll just open the other passenger door for this guy.
No, I think there's plenty of room.
I think there's only 2 seats in the car because it's his it's a sports car for fast road trips or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, if this guy gets in, he'll pull away from the road and begin to continue driving.
He gets into your electric car, goes, "Rah," and introduces himself as Tim. And let's look at next character. So, Matt, you are playing Phineas. So what's Phineas driving down this road in, or is he walking, or is he already at a place?
Yeah, so I think the first time we see Phineas, there have been 99 deaths in this region, right?
Yep.
So I think one of those deaths, at least one of those deaths, perhaps multiple of those deaths, were from people that are in his congregation. So he is out. I think he's making a house call, right? Is it evening? Is that what time it is? What time is it?
Whatever time you like. Evening's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's evening. I think he's making a house call. We see him, beard, Catholic priest, cassock on with the. I need to figure out the word for this. Obviously, the neck.
Oh,
thing.
the necktie. Yeah.
The white
priest collar.
Symbol of his collar. Yeah, his collar. And he's sitting on a couch in a living room, and there's 2 concerned older parents, and he's saying something moving we are, I've spoken with the other members of the congregation, and we are all praying for your daughter's safe return.
She's missing. Okay. Yeah, why don't we see your counseling skill? So you have counselor at 2, which means you automatically have a tangible impact on the world. I'm reading this off the difficulty chart on page 151, by the way. Are you happy with that level of success, or would you like to be more successful?
No, I think at this point I'm just trying to make things better for these people, to help them get through the night.
Okay.
If we ratchet up what the stakes are, I may invest more.
Sure. Yes, you don't have to spend any will. You just naturally are able to, comfort these people. Hold on, I'm adjusting my mic level again. And eventually, the phone rings, and the elderly man, gets up and answers the phone, and it's their daughter, or you said daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their daughter, and she says that she was lost, and she got picked up by a police car, which is driving her home right now.
Great.
All right.
So I think if the it's like a couple on the couch, right? So if the man is having the phone call and he relays the information, I think Phineas like reaches over and he holds the hand of like the mother, and says something like like if you are faithful, God, if you are faithful, God will keep her safe, right? God has kept her safe for you.
I think she's like almost crying, like having trouble to talk, and like she just like starts praying and crosses herself.
Right. Yeah, and I do like the comforting arm on the shoulder thing.
Right. All right, let's look at Mr. Trek. If you even have a gender.
That's Mr. The Trek, by the way.
Okay, Mr. The Trek. What is Mr. The Trek's experience of these events like? Are you like following individual people, or you like have a bird's eye view of this road, or?
Yeah, I think it's if we want to put it in a visual that we have a metric for. If you remember, like the older X-Men movies, it's Professor Xavier looking at the mutants in Cerebro. It's just these points of light where all of these travelers are, and they're moving along, and if one stops, it zooms in on him, and he
Nice.
moves them
like
along.
They see something that they want to go to, and so they start walking to that.
All right. So I think you're watching this, and you don't only see where things are, but where they're going. And you can see that there are like two cars driving at each other at opposite ends of this highway, and there's a deer in the woods that's going to cross the roads and make one of the cars hit the other.
As a heads up, it'd probably be the police car, because my car would probably have some built-in safety features to stop that from happening.
Auto braking, deer sensors,
Yeah.
Infrared scanning of the woods.
Yeah, I probably how do I?
Are you even driving your car? Like is it a car that a human drives?
No, I think that I'm not driving my car now. Sometimes I like to drive my car for the experience of it. And I think even the CEO of the company is still like, there is still like the comfort in having control of your own car type of thing. But I think he is getting to know this person who he picked up, and so he actually just stops driving the car and lets it drive itself while they talk.
Okay, in that case, I think we zoom in on the self-driving car, and Trek begins niggling at the back of Robert Steele's mind that you're not in control of this. You're not traveling. You're sitting in a car. Like, what are you doing? You should be directing your own path.
All right.
Guys, we've been playing for like 2 minutes and we're already into PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's set an intention level for this. You're not a human, so I'll give you 12 willpower for now. Ooh.
Okay.
You don't need to sleep. So you have to have a little bit more. Okay, so do you want to accomplish a goal, or do you just want to have him hear this?
No, I want to accomplish a goal. Like I want.
Okay. You want to have me turn off auto driving?
Yeah, this traveler is not traveling as I see it. He is simply a passenger.
Okay.
So you can move yourself closer to your goal, but not succeed with a difficulty 4, or get a lot closer where difficulty is 7.
Okay. Does my skill in persuasion have any bearing on this at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you start there, and then add willpower until you are how far you want to be.
Okay. And I have 12, so I'd need... Yeah, let's just go for 7. I'll dump 5 will in there.
Okay. So, Primarch, in order to resist this, if you even want to, you would have to beat a 7.
Okay. I don't think I want to.
Okay.
I think that I will not resist. People who are CEOs tend to be comfortable, at the very least comfortable, with control over themselves. So, yeah, I think that, he makes the, he probably, in the middle of conversations, see, I'm auto-driving right now, but I can turn it off right here. But only instead of turning it back on, he just leaves it off and starts driving.
Yeah, and Tim's like, oh, that's very impressive. You designed this yourself?
Yeah, and it's the usual, bells and whistles thing. I oversaw the team of some of my... It's weird to play my character is so egotistical. Not just like he's fairly egotistical. So he says, me and a team of trained engineers, yes, we designed every bit of us together.
But it was your idea.
Yeah. I think he says that at the end. I will need some time to get into character for this guy.
So he says that's
Channel
amazing, but you get the feeling he's not really impressed. He's putting up, a face.
Yeah, he's being
not
polite.
Offend you. But there's something about this that's, kind of irritating him. Okay.
I think I'm perfectly happy to just be quiet the whole time. I'm perfectly happy to just distract myself by doing actual driving and just drop him off at the next town. So, I think
he says...
I don't pursue conversation.
After some time where it's quiet, he says, if you think about it, it's amazing that technology can make driving and not driving so similar.
I guess the technology that we're using here is to drive for us. So I guess the technology is amazing.
It is.
And
but if you think about it, driving is not something that is actually done, right? We're just keeping the cars straight. You're just keeping it from going off the road. From a physics point of view,
technically,
the car is at rest. It's the world moving around us.
Spatial relativity not including. Technically, we're all driving our own bodies anyways, and so we're well-practiced drivers in that point. That's why kids, for example, you look at them, they are not good drivers of a body. They aren't as spatially aware as adults.
Mm.
And then as we grow older, and especially those who practice, we become better drivers. And I think because he does actually take his hands off the wheel to do air quotes, because it's on the road by itself.
Right.
And then maybe
that's when the deer crosses the road.
Yeah, that's precisely when the deer crosses the road.
So, this guy is distracting you. He's trying to win this argument with a will of 4, let's say.
Okay.
And
what is his point in the argument?
His point is that you can't ignore the relativity of things. He's just trying to win on a technicality, it feels like.
Okay. So it's more it's more of a philosophical thing.
Yeah. And also at the same time, you have We're going to say it's a difficulty 6 to avoid the dare.
Okay. Difficulty 6 to avoid the deer. Well, driving is not one of my skills.
No.
Now I don't know how flexible this stuff is in terms of what skill is applicable to what situation, because I do have skill engineer, and I'm pretty sure when we were building cars, I probably test drove some of them myself.
That's logical. You can do that.
Okay.
I think there are also rules for tools, like at being useful in some way, which the car itself may qualify as.
Let me check that. Tools. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I should have thought of that. Tools that add +3 or more are remarkable, unique, magical, or super advanced. This doesn't seem super advanced, it's just normal advanced. So let's go with +2.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings me to a 4. I think I will spend 2 more willpower to avoid the deer.
Okay.
I think it'll be the other person's car that probably crashes
right
into mine, not my own car.
No.
And then,
yeah, no, do it. It's totally cool. I'm objecting in character, not in any other way.
But I think you might be right. Like, CEO driving a fast car, gets distracted, gets into a car crash. That's common. That's the start of Doctor Strange, and a few others as well. Yeah, I think you're right. Goodbye. I'm not spending willpower. I will fail that one. I will crash the car. And I think because of that, I will also not spend willpower to win the argument, because I don't think it matters. Yeah.
Okay. So, you hit the deer, and we see the car crumbling around you. You're going to take a mortal wound. These are
I see deadly, serious, and surface. I imagine it's deadly.
Hold on a sec. Yep, it's deadly.
Oh, there's different types of it. Okay.
Since you are only human, you don't have the serious surface wounds. Oh, no. This is a surface wound. And you don't have your deadly or serious wounds yet. Sorry. So, you only have the 2 surface wounds as a mortal. You've taken one of them. So you're, like, severely injured. If you take another wound, you're dead.
Yeah.
And what does your car look like? Is it, like, sparking? Or...
it's like a... normally it's like a shiny chrome. It's... No, there's no fuel. It's electric.
Battery are
I think
flammable, so...
It could. It's just much, much, much less likely.
Okay.
I think it is sparking. I think it's clearly, like, not gonna work for now. I think it's... I think it flipped a couple. Like the battery for an electric car is like at the bottom. It's under the seat. It's not in the front or back. So you have to get pretty bad to actually hurt the battery and make it unusable. So I think the car like went off the road, got a bit of air, landed, and like smashed on some rocks. Smashed the bottom of it on some rocks that like tore up the bottom totally.
Nice.
And then maybe it did like one roll, into like part of the way into a tree, and then landed. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a pretty nasty crash.
All right. But your airbag's deployed and everything, so you're fine, just stunned?
I think so. Okay. What about the other guy? Do NPC mortals have also 2 surface wounds?
Yep. But
okay, so he's...
So while you are stunned, though, he gets out of the car and goes back to the road. And Wanderlust, like, you're watching this as the police car, like, stops, and the policeman and the young woman get out of the car, we see the hitchhiker walk over to the deer and put his hands on the deer and whispers in his ear. And the deer transforms into a young woman, and she is like bleeding heavily, like there's a giant gash down her side. And as the policeman and the daughter is watching, she just expires. And when she does, the ground begins to shake.
Yeah, and
Like
I think
a
that's
giant
what wakes me
earthquake.
up.
Yeah.
I'm in the car and unconscious, and then I get woken up, and I think it's all in my head from the car crash, and then I got out of the car and it's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
as this is happening, I think Wanderlust or Trek himself goes to this specific location, it being a new experience that he's never seen before. So
Yeah.
So Trek's like, how wide is your perception? Is it like worldwide, multiple worlds, like a small city?
I think for the most part, if I think that it might be mutable, like as long as there are travelers, he can see where they're
through them.
Yeah, we can perceive the travelers and the area around them. But when something quirks his interest, it becomes very localized.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
it's
So
more
you can
questioning
focus
focus
it.
and range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Cool. So you're localizing just to experience this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you get to experience it. It's like just really weird. Like the policeman and the daughter are like just shocked at the scene, and I think like their shock like prevents them from going to help Robert, which normally would be their their first inclination.
Yeah.
Phineas, so there's not too many earthquakes in New England. And you come to realize that the way that the house is moving, this kind of old house, is not safe for anybody.
That's there. Okay.
Great. Okay. I think yeah, I'm gonna grab the mother kind of by the shoulder, and try to like pick her up off the couch and encourage everybody to we must get outside.
All right, I'll say you need this is a difficulty 4 action intention.
Oh man, I guess I don't really have a skill. Does counselor apply here?
Not really.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you do want to be worthy of God's love.
That's true. And I think can I use a bond here?
Sure, which one?
Yeah, so I care for the poor and downtrodden.
Yeah.
I feel like these people missing their daughter, they're downtrodden.
Oh, actually, I think bonds only apply once you become a noble.
They only matter for miracles. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they don't only matter for miracles. They give you strike, but you don't have that power yet because you're still mortal.
Right, and I'm trying to do something effective in the world, right?
Right.
That's the. Sorry, I'm trying to skip back up to 153. Yeah, no, I think encouraging these people to be safe is worth it to me. I want to do something effective. Yeah, so I'll spend the 4 will.
Oh, you don't think your passion applies here?
Oh, I want to be worthy of God's love. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right, spend 2 will.
So I spend 2 will, so that brings me down to 8.
Yep. So you'll safely get them out of the house.
Yeah, that's my intention.
Yeah. And you can now release that intention and get 1 willpower back.
Okay.
And while you're watching, like, I think we're going to say that this people's house is pretty high up. And you can see, like, the mountains in the background lowering.
Okay.
No, the
in what way are
whatever.
they lowering in a way that, like, the we are rising, or are they lowering in a way where, like, the mountains themselves are getting lower?
I mean, it's hard to tell, but actually what's happening is that you are rising on a large plateau. It's lifting this part of the world into the sky.
Yeah, I think my intention then, I'd like to look around, and I'd like to determine how this is happening. Like, is this normal plate tectonics, or is it a like I have, as Phineas has seen when he was a child, the works of God, right? Like, he has seen them move in the earth, and I'd like to see if there's some way. My intention is to determine if this is a miracle of God.
I think that would make your life better. So it's a 5.
Yeah, let's spend it. Why not?
All right.
I think, and the way that looks is, I think Phineas kneels, and I think you see the other two. I think you see the man and the woman who are with him. They kneel beside him, and he begins whispering under his breath.
Yeah. All right, so you spend it, and I think, like, you just feel there's something wrong about all of this. And while it is a miracle, it's not the work of God.
Right. I think I'm going to keep that to myself for now. I don't want to share that with the two people who are with me, because I want to keep them safe and unworried.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, I see the devil moving in the world in this way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I'm just going to read this. Then the earth shook and quaked, and the foundations of the mountains were trembling, and were shaken because he was angry. Psalms 18:7.
Right. Yeah, and that's so right. Thank you, Zen, for providing that. But, like, I think, like, obviously Phineas sees this as a sign,
like revelation
that the Lord is angry, right? Like, this is possibly a signal of the end times. Possibly the dragon has woken, right? Like, that's how he interprets this, because that's how he would.
Yeah.
And I think he's whispering that under his breath, maybe.
All right. So, I think this earthquake continues, and I think as it continues, the air becomes, like, full with the cry of birds, and Phineas feels that same force that is shaking the world reach onto him, and it, like, pushes upon you and on your spirit, and you just feel like you feel the awakening as you can feel, like, the bones in the earth and the birds in the sky, and you feel a hunger you haven't felt in a long time. And this is your commencement happening. So the power is rushing into you. And at some point, you're going to realize that all these things put together, mean dinosaurs.
Right. Yeah, and so I think the way Phineas reacts to this is he goes back to what he knows, right, which is the Bible, and immediately he's struck by like would the commencement include knowledge of the nature of reality as it is? Like, do I perceive reality differently? Do I perceive the mythic world to be true?
You perceive it, but you don't understand it yet.
Right.
It's very confusing. It's all like pouring down on you. Like you can see the connections of the birds to yourself and to the ground, and feel like this huge sense of loss that there are so many things on Earth that are extinct. And I think like at some point, maybe you see dinosaurs, like you're having hallucinations of dinosaurs, and maybe they're dancing around you like the birds over someone's stunned head.
Right. I think maybe like the first reaction is that I sense like the presence of dinosaur bones, like somewhere nearby, like somewhere near this particular house. And it looks externally to the couple that are with me like I'm losing my mind, because I like run over like to the edge of their property and just like begin to dig with my hands.
Yeah. Totally. So while you're digging, let's go to the trek. So you tried to coalesce yourself, but you weren't like expecting, like, I think you're actually drawn into the daughter's body. So there's the policeman and the missing daughter that was traveling with him.
Okay.
And right now it's like just experiencing that, but you're experiencing the mortal world for the first time. Eyes and ears and touch and the trembling of your arms and
the trembling of the earth as well. Okay, that's disconcerting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you just see the girl like just touching and looking and
looking
around.
You don't have control, but that's the weird thing.
Oh, okay.
You're just an observer.
You're an observer right now. Now you can gain control if you want. You feel that
I don't think
potential.
Yeah, I don't think I think with all of the new stimulus that wouldn't occur, Trek, to like try to control this thing that he's in. It's just like, wow, what's this? What all these new sensations.
Right.
It's another new experience for you.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, he's probably more exulting in the new experience than trying to control it.
Okay.
All right. And I think Robert, like you finally...
Robert, yeah, he stumbles back up into the road with the other two.
Yeah.
From the car crash, which is like in the distance as the camera like raises up above him. You can see that like the sparking metal remains, probably like 20 meters away.
And I think you get to the edge of the road, and you see the woman like dead in the middle of the road, and it just fills you with pleasure to know that you killed her.
Yeah, and I think he's in shock from the car crash, which means he's kind of right now, he's not thinking. He's acting on instinct. So, Robert is like he takes a moment to just like stare at this woman. That he of course wasn't there for the transformation, so he thought it was a deer, but obviously wasn't. And he feels like an emotion that he would not have. He's never previously felt in relation to this. And then I think there's something else. I think he turns his head towards the woman and the police officer. Are either of them physically injured right now?
No.
Okay.
I think you can see a large connection between you and the woman.
Okay. I think the woman, being that whatever she's been through, she's likely emotionally feeling pain. So I think he can also feel that from her. Right now. In addition to the connection.
Right.
I think he doesn't, like, he's in shock completely, so he kind of just, like, walks up to her and then stares at her for a while.
Yeah, you feel like you know just what to say. Like, if you blame this on her, then you'll feel even better.
Okay. And I think those words come to his mouth unbidden. Like, he's just kind of acting on instinct, and his instincts are now totally different.
Right.
He says something that's to the point of, like, if she hadn't run away, then none of this would have happened, and that girl wouldn't have been dead, and stuff like that.
Nice. Alright, so Mr. Wanderlust Trek, since you are now a Nobilis, and all wanderers are under your jurisdiction, I'll let you describe what your, I'm not sure what the word is, but this person that falls under your domain, how does she react to these words? What experiences, what emotions do you feel for the first time?
Huh. That's a very weird question. I think, being that she's still her, surprise, shock, maybe a slight bit of revulsion, like because this is apparently a girl that was raised in a religious household, so anything like that would be a taboo for her. Like that wouldn't be something that she would agree with. So yeah, it's probably not a great feeling.
Yeah. All right. So while you guys are arguing, the world drops away. Mm-hmm. The ground to either side of the road falls away, and you are left standing, one of them yelling, the other one, like, I guess, feeling ashamed. Like, on the edge of this road that maybe travels like 5-10 feet over thin air and then just stops completely. And there's just air past that point.
At this point, I'm probably going to have to impose my will and move this body toward the new place that I've never seen. Roads do not go into the air, and this is a new thing, and I must see it.
All right.
Yeah, and then as you start walking away, I take a moment, and then I look around. As I've finally sort of broken out of I'm actually thinking again. And I look around and, I think I just say out loud to no one in particular, what is happening here? And then I just follow you.
Do I have any control over this body now? Since
Yeah, you do.
She's a traveler.
It's a treasure zero miracle to possess an anchor.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm just following you because, above all else, I'm drawn to that person's pain, and so I'm just kind of following her because it feels good to be near her.
Right. I think in a very, like, unsure, moving this new mouth thing with this is wet tongue in the middle. I don't quite understand yet. I think
you're baby talking.
I think you just hear we need to find out, like in a very garbled speech, in answer to your question.
Is it still using her voice? Is it her voice, or does it sound like an entirely different person?
It's her voice, but there's sort of an ethereal echo afterthought to it, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I don't notice. I'm too distracted. I just follow you. You are the one who wanders.
Nice. Alright, so you're just looking over this cliff?
Yeah.
Alright. So what you see is you see the land below that you're familiar with, but it's like probably a mile straight down. It's like a plateau has just formed in an instant instead of over millions of years, which you may have been around to witness before. And like you can look down the side of the cliff, and the cliffs are full of little caves where birds are nesting, and you feel like the ground is weak beneath your feet, like it's crumbling away. You feel maybe it feels like kind of light or dizziness. And you feel the urge to jump off the edge.
Bastard. There's an urge to jump off the edge. What? Yeah, I think I.
Oh, do I have also the urge to push her off the edge?
Sure.
Which
one happens first?
You bastard.
Yep.
I think it might be like you're looking down and you're considering it, and then the camera backs up a bit and you see me like with a hand on your like right behind your back about to push you. I think just sort of at like the top right corner of the camera, it pans to probably my face, but it cuts off just below my eyes. But even that, from the expression, you can see that I'm like seriously conflicted about this. But yeah, I think I do it. I'm still mostly acting on instinct.
All right. Yeah, I think we see the girl go over the edge, but Trek doesn't go with her. I think he pops out.
Ooh, you don't want this experience.
I think the feeling of dread that she had sort of translated a little bit, and he just pops out, and I'm guessing that Robert can sense me now. Correct, since we're both.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, like the connection I had with the girl stopped, and now there's I imagine I can perceive you in some way.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just a voice in my head.
I don't think the connection with the girl stops necessarily. But you stop paying attention to her? Okay. Like you can hear her screaming. She starts to scream almost immediately.
Yeah. I thought.
Yeah, if anything, I think your connection to her would strengthen as that fear takes over her of like falling down and everything else.
Yeah. In terms of connection, I thought that was due to her being like inhabited by the Trek. But if it was not due to that, then yeah, it would.
Not entirely, but yes, a large part of it was due to the connection.
Okay. I think I don't think there's anything physically sensory. I think I just have, like, it's almost a sixth sense. Like, I can feel there is a presence kind of hovering right in front of me, just above the cliff, or something like that. It's kind of like feeling, it's like prickles on the back of your neck feeling those type of things.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you just hear this voice say, well, she travels to a place I can't follow now.
So pretty abruptly, like, the screaming stops. And let's jump over to Phineas. So Phineas, I wanted to bring the group together. So I imagine you're just like running through the woods, Mad Saxon style, like screaming and just like you just run over there. There's a giant dinosaur bone, and then there's another giant dinosaur bone, like maybe 100 yards away.
So, for sure, yeah. So what I was thinking is the like housewife, right? Who I've been counseling and then ran away from. Like when the camera switches back, it like switches back to her, and I think I've given her a name. Her name is Sue Hammond.
Okay.
She's like mid-40s. She has a daughter, right? Who's we've determined she's north of 14 and south of 19 years old, something like that. And you see her like praying, and she's like, she's determined it's the end time. So she's saying like, honor God and praise his greatness, for the time has come for him to judge all people. Worship him who made heaven, earth, sea, and the springs of water. And then it cuts from there, and you see Phineas just like running through the forest, and I think he's taken he has like a fossil tooth or something like that he's like ripped out of the earth.
It's very sharp, by the way.
Yeah. And I think he's like almost ritualistically cut himself in some way, like maybe across his forehead or something like that. And he's just like he's running through the forest, and he's you don't hear him shout. You don't hear him shouting in a human voice. You hear him roaring in an animal voice.
Ooh.
And I think, if as you approach or as you happen to get near us, I think I can sort of sense you. I can sense like the flare of pain of like. I don't think I sense you. I sense like pain and what is causing the pain. I have in my head like over there is someone has cut their forehead or something like that. Like I don't know anything else about you as an entity. I just recognize that.
And I think like my intention right now, maybe because dinosaurs are hungry, I think my intention maybe right now is to find something to eat.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Now, like that doesn't have to, right? Like that doesn't have to be in a carnivorous way, because dinosaurs are
both.
Are both herbivorous, omnivorous, and carnivorous. But I think that's my intention right now.
Cool. Again, pain makes me feel good, and so I think that I pretend the voice hasn't said anything. I pretend not to have heard it. I'm distracted by this new thing. And I am attracted to pain, so I will go stalking off towards you. I think I don't even realize that I do so consciously, but the camera stops and shows me bend down to pick up like a piece of like scrap metal or something. If you allow me that, like from the car crash.
Yep.
And then I don't even realize it's in my hand even after I picked it up. I just have it there, and I just start walking towards what I can sense.
Yeah, and I think probably in my primitive thought process that I have right now, I think I'm probably running towards you too.
Okay, you can like smell us.
I think I like the idea that it's ultimately up to Zen if we actually find each other or not.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Like Trek, I think you get to exert some influence here.
Yeah,
you are in fact miraculous, and we are
even
not yet realized that we are.
Yeah, and since I can sense the presence of both of you, and I'm more used to that kind of connection than either of you flesh bags, I think, yeah, I will try to guide each of you into one another.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right, my intention is to eat.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a nice, tasty human heading right toward
And my
you.
intention
Former human.
is to.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat Robert Steele. That's what
my intention is to inflict as much pain as possible, just through scratches on you.
This is miraculous.
Sweet. I'm so excited for this because what is this right now? My intentions are more.
Okay.
I'm not doing.
Mine are not.
I'm not doing anything miraculous right now.
All right.
Oh, okay. But when you said mortal, I thought you meant trying to kill.
So, Primarch,
I think same here.
Are you
honestly.
trying to stop him from hurting you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sadistic, not masochistic.
So, and you said your intentions are.
Zen, you were going to say a thing?
Yeah, I was wondering if, since you inflame sadism in other things, if you were going to inflame his sadism as well, so that he would want to hurt you and you would want to hurt him. Because that's kind of your jam, right? Yeah. Is to make other things want to hurt other things.
Or able to.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a persona miracle, right? Am I?
I think so.
To do what exactly?
My persona miracle. Persona chart sadism.
To inflict the desire, pleasure from others.
Yeah, you can do that.
Make a person more interested in hurting you.
You can do that as domain or persona. They're different. They're like you can do
my domain
either
is
way.
2.
That's true.
Difficulty 3 gives someone else the desire to be sadistic.
Yeah, domain would be better. I only have to spend 1 miracle point then. So I will spend 1 miracle point within my domain to give you the desire to be sadistic.
So one of the rules of the game is that even if the character is not aware of an attack, the player can still react to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If the player describes, but the player still has to describe the character as doing something, unless you're using treasure. Unless you're having an anchor act on your behalf.
Right. How would I resist this? Can you walk me through the?
Sure. So,
I can counter it with my own domain miracle, but do I have other? How would I invoke an Octoritis? How would I?
Don't worry about any of that stuff right now. What it basically comes down to is the total miracle level.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever one is higher wins. Assuming they're directly opposing each other. So, you would have to come up with a miracle of a level higher than 4.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Something's happening.
Yeah, have we lost? Yeah, I think
He left his chair. Yeah, he had to go AFK suddenly, quickly, but he's back.
It's 11 p.m. at night. You think people would have some respect. Yeah, so you just have to have a higher miracle level to win. And if not, or if they don't directly oppose each other, then they both just happen independently.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the easy way to do this, I think, would be for me to cast a persona miracle that destroys the hungry and primitive instinct in me.
Yeah.
Which I think is a persona 5 miracle.
Sure. So let's look at your persona chart.
Let's go over to my persona.
So a lesser sacrifice is difficulty 5. So perfect.
Right.
Primarch did level 4.
Can
right?
I use that as an emulation?
I did level 4 because that was I did level. No, sorry, I did level 3 because with my domain it only needs to be level 3.
Oh yeah, you may do it as an emulation, and then we just say you add 2 edge to that.
Right.
If you don't like the description of lesser sacrifice, you may do it as an emulation.
Right. Can I use an emulation to invoke the opposite of my domain? Which is what I'm trying to do, right?
Over time, can we use XP to increase our aspect, domain, persona, and treasure? Do those ever change?
Yes, but you do so with projects.
Okay.
So you say a project like, I want to increase my domain, and then you work towards it.
Okay.
Okay, so you may not use an emulation.
To emulate my estate, I need to invoke it and not its opposite. So this has to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, you have to add on a estate property to your character sheet with the emulation, which doesn't make sense here.
Right. Yeah, because I'm actually doing the opposite here. So I'm going to destroy the hungry and primitive part of my brain, which is a level 5 miracle of persona, which means I need to spend 1 miracle point to achieve it. So I'm going to spend that miracle point. Instinctively, I don't think I really know what I'm doing at this point.
Wow.
But I think I do that and it calms me. And Primarch, Robert, I think, like, if you're cool with it, the way I see this scene, like, reaching out is like we haven't reached each other yet, but like you've cast your miracle at me and then I have countered it, and then we like come face to face, and I'm like holding this tooth and I'm bleeding all over my face. But you see the savage rage like go out of my eyes, and my body relaxes and calms, and I look at you with like human rationality.
I don't think I'm the same way.
How do you look at this moment?
I probably look somewhat similar to how you did look, like sort of like acting on instinct, primal.
Right.
I look conflicted. Again, I look like I have this like jagged piece of like aluminum that was part of my car or something in my hand. And I looked at it, sort of realizing it was there for the first time. Look at you. Look at it again, and then take a step towards you with it raised, and then you see me physically stop myself and throw it away, just in a direction, and then you see me sort of still struggling not to hurt you still, and then I open my eyes, and it's sort of the very steely controlled expression in my eyes.
Yeah. I think Phineas looks at you and he says, the world is ending. Will you pray with me?
I think if it was pretty much any other circumstance, he would decline. But I think this time he actually accepts.
Okay.
I don't think he says anything. No, in a very hoarse voice, he says, "Yes."
You are Batman. You are Batman. Yes.
This isn't an intentionally hoarse voice. This is a ragged from screaming in the car crash hoarse voice.
Okay.
He says yes.
Yeah. I think I have I throw down the tooth that I've been holding, right? And I have like a right? And so there's all this blood on my face, but I have like a rosary. I think I take my rosary off and I wrap it around my hand and I try to like hold your hand and I like kneel down and I begin to pray.
Yeah, and I think I got injured in the car crash. I took a surface wound, and it's not that I wasn't wounded. It's that now the wound isn't a big deal anymore.
Right.
So I think like the bleeding, like there's like a gash on my side, probably like very similar to the woman that was a deer. And it's sort of it slows down and bleeding, and of course you don't see it because I'm like my shirt is actually no. Let's say my shirt's like ripped in that area, so you can see it. And yeah, it partly closes up, becomes like a movie style wound where it's totally just like completely surface level.
Yeah.
Battle scar. But yeah, I don't say anything. I just let you read it.
I don't have anything further here if we want to get back to Zen.
Yeah.
Sure.
Same here.
Well, Zen's
you have
right
stopped
there,
wandering.
right?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Can you inhabit us? Because this might be a new experience for you.
Well, actually, I was going to say that I think that maybe I'm nebulously hanging over you, and what would be Phineas's reaction to seeing an ethereal form hanging over you as you pray?
Yeah, okay, so I have a question. How does this work? Can I see you?
We're just gonna feel your presence.
Only by the sight. Can I see you because we are like spirit bonded? Can I see you because you are choosing to manifest?
Yeah, I think he's having had a physical body and knowing what that is now. I think he's manifesting in a physical space.
Does it? I assume you can probably change what you manifest as each time. Then.
As I said before, it's more of your perception informs what I actually look like.
Okay.
Right. So I see you as the destination that I wish for. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know how I see you then. So I think you appear to me as a blinding holy white light.
Okay. Crap. You appear to me as my wife.
Nice.
Like I know that you aren't her, but it's like you look like her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So okay. So I'm going to invoke some more script because that's a thing that my character would do right now. So hang on here. This is me holding Robert's hands, and I say, Lord God Almighty, how great and wonderful are your deeds. King of the nations, how right and true are your ways. Who will not stand in awe of you, Lord? And I'm literally addressing Zen right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think. And
I'm looking up. I'm doing the opposite. Like I'm just like looking up Slackshot. Are you like hovering above us?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's
okay.
Sort of an ethereal, like probably 4 or 5 feet above the ground, like okay. As you guys are kneeling down praying.
I'm double checking if I gave a name for my wife already.
So I think Trek responds to you with sort of a very monotone voice. He's like, while I do appreciate the praise, I don't think I am what you think I am. I'm sorry, I'm not quite used to being seen.
I think I'm just gonna think about that for a little bit. So if somebody like that's a confusing reaction.
Yeah, and Robert is just kind of staring Slackjaw, like he thinks he's hallucinating right now. Like there's no way his wife is here.
Right.
And after that response, he like slowly the gears in his head start turning. And he says, "Who are you?"
You'll have to forgive me. This is quite new. But I feel we are...
Why do you look like my wife? He's going to be that blunt.
Yeah. He just looks at you.
He looks at you like you're an imposter.
She looks at you and says, I'm not... I'm sorry, it's... Maybe this will help. And he tries to like coalesce into something a bit less personal to both of you.
A bit less, yeah.
So I think in order to actually like make a body for yourself, that it would be a miracle. But you're just trying to appear and create a mental image that your fellow powers can only them can see, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just going to call this a difficulty 3 treasure miracle that you don't have any problem.
Okay. Yeah. So the either the light or the woman in front of you, depending on your perspective, I think begins to shift into something vaguely humanoid, but with no features.
Kind of like the god from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. More of a homunculus, and not Full Metal Alchemist homunculus.
Oh, okay.
More like
a
the traditional.
Like you actually look like you have flesh.
Guys, Slender Man can fly.
There you go.
Okay.
And he just looks at the both of you and says, "I'm sorry for the confusion. I sense I can sense you more than the others that I've touched. What is this?"
I actually, no, my character and most people will probably assume that you are the person who, that you are the supernatural being who caused this. And so, just say, who are you? What's going on here?
I am just as curious to find out as you. This is all very strange, very, very, very new to me.
Mm-hmm. So I think Tim, who has like just been watching you guys freak out, and also
we haven't noticed him at all.
Checking out like what's happening around him, and like there was probably this period where he was like super shocked and surprised, but eventually he walks over to you guys and says, what's he say? He says, I think I know somebody that can answer those questions for you.
I think
and he waves towards the road and begins to walk down the road deeper into the forest.
I think Phineas just follows, like, at this point, like, right, like Phineas's understanding of the way the world works is theoretical. It's not, right, like it's almost the opposite of how Robert Steele understands the world, which is through interrogating it and through science. Right, like Phineas's understanding of how reality works is entirely theoretical. And so I think he's just following, understanding that there is a higher power at work, and has no other basis to understand what is going on.
Okay. Robert sees you go, looks at you in the road, the direction of the road that Tim went, looks back the other way, and considers just like trying to leave.
Yeah, I think maybe Trek senses that a little bit and looks over to you and says, I do not think our answers lie in that direction.
Let's get this over with. And yeah, I turn and follow, from a distance.
Alright. Well, we're pretty late now. I think it's time to wrap this up, unless you guys want to conclude this.
I think that's a good conclusion, honestly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll conclude this, and then we'll have a time skip at the beginning of next session, and then you guys will know all the RPG book stuff in character. Was there something going on next week? Somebody can't make it, right?
Let's see, next week. I'm good. It is Roll20Con. I don't know if anybody has plans for that.
Not for Sunday. I'll be busy on Saturday. No, next week I am good. I am busy the day before and going out of town the day after, but the day of, I think it's fine.
Okay. Matt, you too good next week?
Yeah, I'm good. That's the 25th?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then I think we're playing again on the 2nd, but then I'm off after that.
Okay.
Okay.
And it could be okay for you guys to continue to play through that period, right? Like it's not the kind of game where we need to assemble the whole party for every thing.
We'll play it that way.
Yeah, let's see
what happens.
Okay. Right. So let's see here. End of session stuff is projects. I also want to take a look at your bonds and afflictions real quick here, because these are what award you miracle points. I'm gonna award Zen 1 for having no physical body, because it's definitely caused him problems.
Okay. Where do I mark this?
You choose one of your miracle point bars. Domain has 5. You can increase that to 6. You can increase one of those to 6, any of them at your choice.
Okay. And I can still use miracle points in aspect even though I don't have it.
Right.
Okay, so I think I'll toss it in there just to make sure that I've got bases covered.
Okay.
Since I don't know what I'm going to be really doing. So
these things are supposed to happen during play, but since we're stopping in the middle of the scene, I'm just going to award it now. Alright, I think that's the only one for you. Primarch.
My Bond Blood Frenzy may have come into play here.
If you think it did.
It basically drove most of my actions until the very end of the session.
Sure. It's supposed to actually cause you problems, though. So I'm going to award it because it will cause you problems in the future. You probably have offended the power of dinosaurs in some way by trying to eat him. Or at least in engaging in miraculous combat with him is at least somewhat rude.
Yes.
I think we got off to a poor start.
Yeah, so I'll give you a point for that.
Okay. And I can add to anyone?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I don't think any of your afflictions or bonds get you points, dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not really seeing a connection. That's fine.
So then we award Destiny for your projects. Where is the rules for that? Here we go. 344. I didn't unveil any shocking truths about anybody's project, I don't think.
I would like to make the argument that you revealed a truth about the world that relates to my project. My project is to meet God, and I think the act of proving that there is a mythic world moves my character closer to that.
All right, I'll give you a revelation. You can add 10 destiny to that circle. I guess everybody was heavily involved in this, so everybody will receive, let's say, 4 MP. And you can award that wherever you want.
Okay. Each person gets 4 MP?
Everybody in the group was involved.
Okay.
That's true. Is that for destiny or for miracle points?
4 miracle points. Only you get to destiny. Only dinosaurs get to destiny.
It's not personal destiny, it's project destiny.
Right, it's project destiny. Failure. Did anybody try and fail to complete one of their projects? I don't think so. Did anybody try and succeed to complete one of their projects? Or at least succeed in a part? I don't think so.
I haven't even begun to address my projects yet. So.
Right. Correct. All of my projects are post ascension.
Right. I don't think any projects get trivial victory or failure.
Here's one question I have. What about how, the personal project, one of them that I have is how badly will I get addicted to causing pain?
Yeah.
And so far, I've already killed an innocent little girl in the first session.
Yeah.
And exulted in it. You exulted in it. That's
true.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you a victory for that.
An innocent woman.
So
how does
add 3 destiny to the project.
To the project? Okay.
Yep. And you and Wanderlust each get 1 MP to spend how you like.
Right.
All right. So none of these projects have reached 15 destiny yet. So they do not move forward. But some of them are... One of yours is getting close, so... All right. And yeah, that's how that works. So, if you want to make a circle like that about, I'm going to become better at domain, or better at aspect, make that circle. I'm going to say that, Zen, you should make a circle about becoming better at aspect, and add a trivial victory to that. I'll just write the number 2 in it, because you have made some kind of progress towards getting physical form.
Okay.
At least by understanding that it's possible that physical forms are accessible to you. And making the first steps towards creating your own physical form.
And you said add 2 to that?
Yep. Right. And this is how that works.
Sweet.
Alright, so that's it. Hope you guys all enjoyed. I thought we would get to meet your Imperator tonight, but we'll get there next week. And then you guys can have your first adventure.
Yeah, and chat was asking when the VOD is available on Twitch. Is that immediately following, or?
Yeah, it will be available immediately as soon as I press stop stream. And it will be available on YouTube sometime this week. So yeah, thanks for watching. like Nobilis is like one of those games that you get to see so rarely. I'm really happy to have this opportunity.
Yeah, that was fun, and even just the little like bit of PvP we did clarified some of the mechanics for me, which was super helpful.
Yep. We'll like worry about how to like do the divine mantle and other stuff in the future. Right now, like let's just get the basics down, like get an idea for what you can do and how much MP you have to spend to do it. Just remember, all it really is comparing one number to another and seeing which one is bigger. And as long as, it's in the list of effects you're allowed to do below the amount you're willing to spend, then it's okay. All right.
Okay.
So if anybody has any questions or anything else, we can stop here and have a good night.
I think things are good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you for watching.
Definitely.
I look forward to getting to it. It is a long and detailed clarification, but it's different than other opinions, but I really like it.
Yeah. I was very unsure after the first session of character creation, and I seem to be falling into it correctly. I hope so.
Yeah. Great.
I imagine you have the most difficult time because you are playing a person without an actual body.
Yeah, playing an abstract is
That's its own challenge.
Yeah.
It'd be so much easier if you just played like a cat. I mean, I make cats appear.
I must do things. I must do things difficult, and
it's gonna be fun though once you've established some like relationships with anchors and stuff. Like that's gonna create some really interesting role play, and like meeting opportunities for you, which is cool.
Also note that the rules explicitly allow you to reshuffle your points and rewrite your bonds and afflictions and properties for the first 3 or 4 sessions.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I love
keep that in
mutable.
mind.
That's good.
Yeah, I plan to do some of that myself because I think I want to make a skill about fighting. Because I think, again, my character is Batman-esque. I decided to switch stats up before we actually started in session. I switched him to give him an aspect of 4.
Okay. I'll just make sure if you change estate properties...
Personally causing pain.
Changing estate properties will change how I represent the Imperator and the Chancel. So at least tell me what you change.
Yeah, and I don't think... I have no desire to change that right now. I think it's really good as is for me.
Okay, great.
It's more just tweaking numbers.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks everyone. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good session.